Hi, boys and girls. We're going to continue our work today with some word problems, but today we're going to look at a new math tool. This one is called 4 Ways, and you see that our box is broken up into 4 pieces. And so let's talk about these 4 pieces. The first box says the word problem. So that's where we're going to put our actual problem that we're going to solve. And then the next box here has model. And that's where we're going to model our problem. So we can model it with a picture or drawing, but it's kind of where we're going to really be thinking out our problem. And the next box down here on the left-hand side bottom says equation, and that's where we're going to put our thinking into a math equation. And then here on the right at the bottom, it's my thinking, like how did I go about solving that? So these are the 4 different ways we're going to think about our problem. Okay, so are you ready? So we have a word problem, and I'm going to put it up here in this box. And we still want to really think about our 3 read strategies. So I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to underline everywhere that there is a number. Because the first time when we read this, we're going to read it without the numbers. Okay, so Isabel has some pennies and some dimes. How many coins does Isabel have altogether? So what is going on in this problem? Can you tell me what's going on in this problem? Well, we definitely know that Isabel has some coins. What coins does she have? That's right. She's got some pennies and some dimes. And we want to know how many coins does Isabel have altogether. Okay, so next we're going to read we're going to reread the problem, but this time we're going to reread it with the numbers, and we're going to think about what do those numbers mean. Okay, so Isabel has 8 pennies and 5 dimes. How many coins does Isabel have altogether? So what does the 8 represent? That's right, 8 represents the number of pennies. And what does the 5 represent in our problem? That's right, it represents the number of dimes. So, wants to know how many coins does Isabel have altogether? So can we model this? We have to think about what's the best way to model it. So I happen to have some coins here. So how about if we use some pennies and dimes? Does everybody remember what a penny looks like? There are pennies. So, how many pennies does Isabel have? She has 8 pennies. Okay, so how many pennies do we need to have? 8. Let's count out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many dimes does Isabel have? That's right, she has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she has 8 pennies and 5 dimes. We want to be really precise and make sure, so I'm going to make sure I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pennies and 5 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimes there. 8 pennies, 5 dimes. Great. Okay, so she wants to know how many we have all together. What are we thinking? What would our equation be? What are we going to do with it? We have 8, and we're going to add 5 to it. Why would we add 5 to it? That's right, because we want to know how many are in all. Well, I'm kind of thinking that if I use a 10 frame, this might help me organize my work. So if I had 8 pennies, I'm going to add my 8 pennies in here. Now I know if I fill this whole thing up that I would have 10 pennies. So how many should I have blank here? That's right, 2. 8. And then I would have 2 left, right? Have 10. Okay, so I have those pennies. And then I know that I have some dimes. How many dimes did I have? I had 5, right? Now I could have used anything. I could have used circles to mark these. Okay, so there I have it. Now, when I'm thinking here, my thinking is that if I make 10, so if I have 8, and I move 2, I'm going to erase that so that's a little bit clearer. Why did I move the 2? And I still have 3 left. That's right, so that made 10, right? So now I have 10 coins here. So now that's really easy for me to add. So I have 10 coins and 3 more. So how many coins do I have in all? That's right, I have 13 coins. Now let's go back and reread our problem, have that third read, to see if this makes sense. Are you ready? Isabel has 8 pennies and 5 dimes. How many coins does Isabel have altogether? Let's see. We know she had 8 and 5 more dimes. So yes, that makes sense, doesn't it? She has 13 coins altogether. Great job problem solving, boys and girls, using the 3-read strategy and organizing our work into 4 ways.